Welcome back, everybody. I'm Devin McDonald. Thanks for coming back to the QueenAnt Pro CNC by Yuyong Industries. Today we're going to surface the spoilboard. So we're going to jump into Vetric Vcarve there, and we'll come back out here and run the program. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, so we're here in Vetric Vcarve Pro 11.013. We're going to have this as a single-sided. We're going to set this to our width to 48.32, and we're going to have our height set to 46 inches, and our thickness is going to be 3/4 of an inch. We're going from the material surface, the bottom left-hand corner, and we're going to hit OK. We're going to make a tool or a square here, and it is going to be the same as our dimensions that we made for our workpiece there. So 48-32 and 46. We're going to hit apply. We're going to close out of that, keeping that square selected. We're going to come up to here to the alignment tool, and we're going to align to the stock. Close that out. Now this is for surfacing the spoilboard, but I'm going to make this all in one document with my T-Track channel. So I'm going to come in here and make another rectangle, and I'm going to make this at 0.775 wide by 46 tall, and I'm going to hit apply, and I'm going to align that to the stock, and I'm going to move it over to the corner, and it'll snap to our XY position there. Now I'm going to make 8 copies of this, so I'm going to come over here to array copy. We're going to have one row, 8 columns, and we are going to make the X offset at 6.04, and we're going to hit copy. So then it puts all of them where I want them to be. Now this one is a little out, so I'm just going to ungroup these. I'm going to select this one, and I'm just going to move it over a tiny bit there, just so it's in the box. I'm going to even just snap her to the corner there. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my circle tool. I'm going to make a little circle, and it's going to have the radius of, or diameter of 0.375. Oh, 0.375, because it's 3/8 of an inch, and I'm not changing that. Close out of that, and I'm going to position this down in my bottom corner here. This will be for my fence. Roughly a 1/2 inch off the edge and 1.25 off the corner. So now I'm going to make a copy of these, and I'm probably going to do it, I'll probably have 8 of them in there as well. On the Y, and 8 of them along the X as well. So we're going to go array copy. So we're just going to reverse these numbers, put 8 there for rows, put that to 1, and our spacing is going to be 5.75, and I'm going to hit copy. that's why I did it on the X. I need it on the Y. Copy. So then I have them along there. And then we're going to reverse these numbers. We're going to put 1 there and 8 columns. And we're going to do it along the Y, and it's going to be 6.04. Copy. And we want this set to be 0. Not sure why it's doing that. 6.04 gap. No. Oh, that's because those are all grouped. So we want to ungroup those. Unselect, come back in here, and we're going to go along the X, and there we go. So these ones ended up inside there. So we're just going to ungroup them, grab them, just use the arrow keys, just keep it on the same y-axis. This one on the other side. And this one on the other side. I'm actually only going to do 7 down here. We'll delete that one. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to make our spoilboard toolpath here first. So we'll select the square at the top, or your outside perimeter there. We're going to come over to toolpaths, and we're going to do a pocket toolpath. We'll remove these two. We'll go ahead and select toolpath. We're going to come over here to my spoilboard section there. We're going to get the white side 6210. It's doing a pass depth of 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch. Our step over is 70%. It's a 1-inch bit. We're doing it at 4,000 RPMs, a feed rate of 100, and a plunge rate of 15. So we'll select that. We'll come over here. We're going to do a climb cut. We're not going to do, we'll do a ramp in. No, we won't do a ramp in. And we'll go surfacing. And we'll hit calculate. So it'll show you your toolpath there. And we'll just hit preview all toolpaths. It'll show you the cutting of it. And if you come down here and hover over this, after that is done simulating, and it will take 1 hour and 5 minutes to surface that. So we'll just leave that as is right now. We'll come back over to the 2D view here, and we're going to grab all of these pockets, and we're going to group these back together. So group, and I'm just going to scroll here. Grab all of those. Grab all of these. Unselect those and unselect the outside perimeter, and we're just going to group those. We're going to come over here. We're going to do the T-Track slots first, and we're going to do another pocket toolpath. We're going to remove this one. We're going to select 1/4 inch end mill here, It's 2 flute. I haven't added my new ones to this new computer yet, but it is. It's a downcut bit from Tools Today. I can't remember the number, but it's a 1/4 inch, 2 flute. Pass depth we're going to do at 0.2. We're going to have 18,000 inches per minute, or RPMs. We're going to do 100 inches per minute with a 45-inch plunge. And we're going to hit apply. And we're going to go select. And we're going to go calculate. Oh, I forgot to set my depth. This one we're going to go down to 0.5 inches. Calculate. And then we'll grab the other ones that are all grouped together, and we'll come over here, and we're going to do a drilling toolpath. It takes a little bit longer, but we're going to go down 0.625 of an inch, and we're going to use 1/4 inch drill bit, and we're going to use peck drilling, and we want to we're going to use an upcut bit for this, and we're going to hit calculate, and we will preview all toolpaths. Now it's doing the pockets there of the T-Tracks, and now it's drilling the holes. And there you go. So our T-Track will sit right in there, and that's why there was a little lip, because that one's not perfectly parallel with the corner. But we're going to run our surfacing toolpath just in this first, and then we'll do another video of the T-Track and the fence install. So let's take this file here. We're just going to unselect these two. We're going to take this one, our surfacing one, we're going to close out, we're going to save toolpath. And we're using the Openbuilds controller. And we're going to go save toolpath. We're going to save it in Vcarve, surfacing. I like to give it bottom left corner, 1 inch bit, and save. Now I'm just going to open up my folder here. Actually, I just want to see if G4P8, so it pauses my spindle for 8 seconds so it can spindle up to the 14,000. That's what I wanted to see. So we'll take this G code out to the Openbuilds controller and we'll run this. Okay, we're back out here in the shop, and we're just going to home all our devices here on the interface. So we're just going to click home all axes. There goes the Z. There goes the X and the Y. And we got everything homed. I'm going to take this back. Zero here. On the X and the Y.
everything zeroed out there. And I'm just going to set you up on the camera here, and we'll surf. We're going to go load file here. We're going to go down to the surface there. We're going to hit OK. And we're going to hit run file. It's going to go up. Spindle's going to speed up to 14,000 RPM. It's going to pause so it can spindle speed up. Here we go. So I'm not sure when it got cut off, but as you can tell, this thing is smooth. There's a little bit of a ridge here going along the Y, so it means that this has to be adjusted on the X, and this is why I did not like mounting it to the actual rails below, because this popped off out of the T-nut. So what I'm gonna do is, just for temporary, I'm gonna just run a straight edge across here and shim this up until I get my dust shoe made, because it sucks holding the hose the whole time. But I must say, this machine just flew through this material. Like, it felt like 20 minutes. I mean, it was probably around an hour, but this is like there's not a single ridge here along the X, which is nice. And but one thing I am noticing as well is that this ridge here and here on both the X's and the Y should not be there, because I programmed it large enough that it would clear this out. This would have been the final pass. So the machine needs to be calibrated. It's set to 160 steps, I believe, so we'll have to do a test piece, probably a 100 mil by 100 mil square with a depth cut, and get our true numbers for these ball screws. But other than that, I'm quite impressed. Other than this kind of sucks, because that means I'll have to do this all over again, but just temporarily I'm just going to straight edge across and shim this up here, because I don't want to do it again without a dust shoe, and that's really annoying, but it is what it is. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this video. Next video we'll probably be cutting in our T-Track and our dowel fence. So So stay tuned for that.